sitting here reflecting. Well, it's kind of in the middle of a prayer, but you know, ADHD. Um, I guess I just was thinking of where my life is right now, and I feel like I probably need to share this. So I was praying to God, thanking Him for this day that I thought I'd never ever see before. I'm staying in another homeless shelter. We are without Bone Crusher and Sabo, our dogs, my bloodline, a project that I have been working on for a very long time. And I just woke up missing Bone Crusher this morning, and I'm like, it's Sunday. If I get off early, I'll have enough time to go see him because, like, I guess even when mom and dad and Corey were in jail, I would miss them, but I would just have to get over it, and then I turned it into anger or resentment to where they were gone and away from me, and they had to be, but they couldn't help it, just like Bone Crusher. He didn't have anything to do specifically with what he did. Mom and them did probably not really for real, but they could have made better choices. But Bone Crusher, poor thing. And then I'm just thinking it's so cold. I want to go to Walmart and buy him a blanket, buy a couple blankets. Like I didn't have the cash before, but if I go buy those $5 blankets, like maybe 4 of them, like at least one for Bone Crusher and Sabo for sure, because I know they like blankets, and 2 more for extra dogs. I don't know, but I wish I had more money, but it's fine. Or more money to spend on something like that, because I do have more money now because I'm in the shelter and I'm able to save my money or have more money. But this check, I really paid some bills off. Like I really paid like a lot of bills. Like I'm thankful because we have a roof over our head and all of our bills are paid. And I even put something on my credit card bill because I'm worried about my credit, and I know I need to start to apply places. And I was telling Titan, and I'm like, well, I haven't applied anywhere, but I feel like I should start now, especially when I'm still working, even though I know that my job may be over at the end of December. I still need to be going ahead and applying to places and getting the fuck out of this homeless shelter at least. And the rest will come. And last night though, I'm actually really proud of myself because I spent like 3 or 4 hours just working on FOC because I don't have it all together, and I could be following. I have a whole month to start this project and get it going to where I can plant my first seed in January. You know what I mean? Like, and then I made a presentation, and then I decided to ask what's her name, her input, the lady at the Salvation Army, because she's awesome. She's Latino. She's just awesome. I love her energy. She has to be like a Sagittarius, or I don't know. I will eventually ask her, but I do love her. I do feel bad for lying to her about smoking, but then again, I don't, because you can't tell everybody everything, and she didn't piss me, and she won't, because if you're not physically, you know what I mean, knowing that I smoke, you're not gonna think to ask me. But I think she's seen me probably on camera or something, and she's just gonna let me lie, because some people are closet smokers, even of cigarettes and stuff like that. Because I also said that I feel that it's good that she doesn't know I'll smoke, because that'll be less that I'll be smoking, but it really doesn't matter because it's still up to me. Speaking of that shit. And then you think I'd be able to see it because it's on fire, but I don't. Fuck. That's fine. It was on the seat. Anywho, but yeah, so I don't know. I miss Bone Crusher and them, but I know it was for the best. I've decided to go see them today if I can, or at least stop by and get their collars, because they haven't posted them yet. But I think they have to wait for like 30 days or something like that. I think that just means something. I don't know. Like they have to vet them, make sure they're okay. You know what I mean? See what's wrong with them and stuff. Spend all this money, but they have the resources. I don't. So I just feel like that'll be better for me. because at least I get to see them and they'll probably be fatter now. Because it's not that I wasn't feeding them, but it's that I don't know. I know Sabo, for one, Bone Crusher had, for one, had got worms, heartworms, like a long time ago. So that's what kind of kept him slim, on top of he wasn't fixed. But hopefully, yeah, they'll fix them. They're going to get fixed, and then that's going to suck. See, that's a blessing too. They'll get fixed, and then, but it's going to suck, but at least he won't be giving babies and stuff. But they're going to let them heal from that, and then, who knows? I don't know. I need to go see the process because I don't know. I wasn't able to ask questions. I wasn't coherent because I at least thought I was going to keep one of them, and then having to surrender both of them was just like heartbreaking, because I'm crying for me. I'm crying for my son because he doesn't want to show his tears because he wants to be strong. Because, my granny and my dad probably told him somewhere. I've always told him to cry, but then again, he said sometimes that I tell him to stop crying, because sometimes it's like, it's not that I'm not letting him cry, because it's like I always, even remember telling him, I want you to feel your feelings, but you also have to remember at the same time that you need to be able to control your feelings, because I always knew that he was going to be 6 feet tall, maybe even 7. Hopefully not. We're hoping he stops at 6'4", 6'3", really. Let's 6'3". I'm hoping he stops because he wants to be able to be a fighter pilot, and we're hoping their cockpits are at least 6 feet, 6.5 to 7 inches. But you never really know, I guess. But hell, there's some people that are like smaller than that, I guess. But probably can't do it then, but who knows, maybe they'd make him a custom plane, and it'd be perfect and just for him and keep him safe. And I just pray he lives a long life and leads armies and protects people. And he did such a good job with volunteering. I made him volunteer the other day, y'all, and he did such a good job volunteering. He actually liked it. He didn't like it, but he'd rather volunteer than go to church, because I had told him, I was like, well, if you don't want to go to Wednesday nights, you can volunteer every other Wednesday, and I'll volunteer with you. You know what I mean? And he was like, no, I don't want to volunteer, blah, blah, blah. I thought it'd be like hard, or suck or something. But once he got out there, he's like, all right, cool. I got some snacks out here, cool. We doing all right, And he got to park people. He parked almost 500 cars, and he just felt so proud of himself. Like, seeing that as a print was a PPP, proud parent moment. And I just was like, that's my baby. And when we first got there, we had a moment. I think I talked about this in another video, but I talk about it again because that was a good moment. We wouldn't have been able to do that. Well, we would have been able to do that if we still had the dogs, but he wouldn't have been able to experience it had we still been at home. And he was like, so what's going on here? Because when we first got there, we walked into the parking lot and we sat there. I was like, all right, so we walked to the end of the parking lot. You see they haven't started yet, right? Or you see them cars are all parked line ready to start. So what we're going to do is let park the cars when they get over here. I was like, but it's easier for me if somebody's in the middle and parking them, but I can't do both, you know what I mean? And I had already told him that, and I don't know if I would have actually made him park people. I wouldn't have had the time to teach him to do that. So this dude Jeremiah, praise the Lord Jesus, came out of nowhere, and he was like, you come with me. And he took him and he showed him, and he was parking cars, and he did the first row with him and the second, and then he went and started helping out, making sure everything else was running, because I guess he's just OCD or whatever too. And he said he's been doing it about a year. He's young, but he's nice. Little black dude. I took a picture of him without his consent, but it's fine. Yeah, my phone ended up dying, so I couldn't take a lot of pictures, but that's fine. Next time I'll be prepared. I've been giving Titan SHIT about not having his power bank, but he gave me one, and I don't know where it is. I think it's in my backpack, but anyways, God is gonna work it out. It's Sunday. I have to miss church today because we're in peak season, but I didn't go for the last 2 Sundays, to be honest. Like, I just didn't have the energy. That one Sunday I gave the dogs, then this. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, I've given myself time to be over this. Now I have to make my money, you know what I mean? Because hell, I might next Saturday call out early and go to church. You never know. Oh, or even go to early service. And then go because he said as long as we don't call out, we'll still get the bonus or whatever. So I'm like, well, that's cool. That actually makes it fair because life happens. So I'll be able to still get my bonus, and in 2 weeks I'll have made like maybe $2,000. So it'll be worth it. It's gonna push me to limits that I haven't thought I'd go to before, but I'm gonna get there, and God's gonna help me and guide me. And see, I like this. This is very therapeutic. This is why people blog and stuff like that. I've always wanted to do it, but I've been nervous to do it because I talk so fast. But given the circumstances, I guess I'm calm now. But plus I guess I share when I share. Ooh, I miss my bed. But I'm gonna go. It's long. Y'all have a good day. I'm gonna get to this Monday.